On a cold, rainy night in 1971, a man stepped onto a plane in Portland, Oregon, and vanished into thin air. No one knew who he was or where he came from. But by the time the night was over, he would become one of the most infamous figures in American history. This is the story of D.B. Cooper, a man who hijacked a plane, stole $200,000, and disappeared without a trace. For over 50 years, his identity and fate have remained one of the greatest unsolved mysteries. Join us as we dive into the enigma of D.B. Cooper, the man, the myth, the mystery. The man who came from nowhere. It was an ordinary Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Airports were bustling with holiday travelers eager to get to their destinations. Among them was a man who would later be known to the world as D.B. Cooper. He appeared unassuming, just another passenger on Flight 305 bound for Seattle. But beneath the calm exterior lay a daring plan that would leave authorities perplexed for decades. D.B. Cooper, as he would come to be known, paid for his one-way ticket in cash, just $20. He was assigned seat 18C, near the rear of the aircraft. The Boeing 727 was a common sight in the skies, but what would transpire on this flight was anything but ordinary. Cooper ordered a bourbon and soda, lighting a cigarette as he settled in. The other passengers noticed nothing unusual about the man in the dark suit. He seemed polite, even pleasant. But as the plane ascended to cruising altitude, the true nature of his journey began to unfold. At approximately 3:00 p.m., just after takeoff, Cooper handed a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. Initially, she tucked it away without reading it, assuming it was just another passenger trying to flirt. But Cooper leaned in, speaking calmly yet firmly. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Schaffner quickly relayed the message to the cockpit. The pilots were stunned. Hijackings were not unheard of in the early 1970s, but this was different. Cooper's demands were precise. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle to refuel the plane for a journey south to Mexico City. The pilots had no choice but to comply, informing air traffic control of the situation. The plane was now under the control of D.B. Cooper. A hijacking unlike any other. Flight 305 circled Seattle for nearly 2 hours as authorities scrambled to gather the ransom money and parachutes. On board, the atmosphere was tense but eerily calm. Cooper remained collected, even polite, as he waited. He instructed the flight attendants to close the window shades to prevent snipers from taking a shot as they landed. This was a man who had thought of everything. On the ground, the FBI was in a frenzy. They quickly assembled the ransom minus 200,000 unmarked bills, mostly in $20 denominations, carefully recorded for serial numbers. The parachutes were delivered, including 2 reserve chutes. Authorities were baffled by Cooper's calm demeanor. He seemed to have a deep knowledge of aircraft and the layout of the Boeing 727, particularly its unique aft staircase, which would play a crucial role in his plan. At 5:39 p.m., Flight 305 finally landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Cooper's instructions were followed to the letter. The plane was taxied to a remote section of the tarmac, away from the main terminal. The money and parachutes were brought on board, and Cooper allowed all 36 passengers to leave the plane, along with some of the flight attendants. But he kept the cockpit crew and 2 flight attendants with him, ordering the plane to refuel. Into the night, the leap of faith. As Flight 305 ascended into the night sky, Cooper's plan reached its climax. He ordered the remaining crew members into the cockpit and instructed them to stay there with the door closed. At around 8:00 p.m., somewhere over the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, Cooper made his move. With the parachutes securely fastened and the money strapped to his body, Cooper opened the aft staircase, a feature unique to the Boeing 727, allowing access to the outside of the plane mid-flight. The crew noticed a sudden change in air pressure, indicating the door was open, but they followed Cooper's orders and remained in the cockpit. When the plane landed in Reno, Nevada, the crew was in shock. The aft staircase was still open, but Cooper was gone, along with the money and the parachutes. Authorities launched an immediate search, but it was as if Cooper had disappeared into thin air. There was no sign of him, no parachute, no money, nothing. The manhunt and the theories. The search for D.B. Cooper was one of the most extensive in FBI history. Helicopters scoured the dense forests of Washington and Oregon, while ground teams combed through every possible landing site. But despite their efforts, they found no trace of the elusive hijacker. The case quickly became a media sensation, with newspapers and television stations covering every detail, every theory. Theories about Cooper's fate began to swirl. Did he survive the jump? Was he a seasoned parachutist who knew exactly where he was landing? Or did he perish in the wilderness, his remains lost to the unforgiving terrain? Some believed Cooper had military experience, pointing to his knowledge of the aircraft and parachuting. Others speculated that he had an accomplice waiting for him on the ground, ready to whisk him away to safety. Cooper's meticulous planning suggests he may have had military training, possibly in airborne operations. But even with that experience, the odds were stacked against him. The lack of evidence leaves us with more questions than answers. The legend of D.B. Cooper. In 2016, after 45 years of investigation, the FBI officially closed the case, citing a lack of new evidence. But the legend of D.B. Cooper lives on. He remains a figure of fascination, the subject of books, documentaries, and endless speculation. Who was D.B. Cooper? A criminal mastermind, or simply a man who got lucky? The truth may never be known. Over the years, countless individuals have come forward, claiming to know the identity of D.B. Cooper. Some believe he was a former military man who went off the grid after the jump. Others suggest he was an ordinary man who took a chance and got away with it. Theories range from the plausible to the outlandish, but none have been definitively proven. D.B. Cooper's story is not just a tale of crime, but of mystery and intrigue. He represents the ultimate anti-hero, a man who outsmarted the system and vanished without a trace. His story has become a part of American folklore, a symbol of audacity and the allure of the unknown. To this day, the question remains, who was D.B. Cooper? The answer may never be found, but his legend endures, a testament to the power of the unsolved. Some mysteries are never meant to be solved, but they are meant to be told. This is the story of D.B. Cooper. The man, the myth, the mystery. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.